time for another monthly update. So usually I would give this update on the road or out for a walk or on one of our Scottish adventures, but today I'm actually doing it from home in my office, which is not quite so exciting. And tomorrow we're actually off on holiday for a bit, so I thought I would take the opportunity while I have this moment of calm to actually let you know what I've been up to for the past month. I hope you've all had a good month. Because we're actually going away for a bit, I have been uber busy this month working on various projects. So the first thing to note is that Book 3 in the Sons of Mull trilogy is out in the world. Yay! That is Steel and Surrender, that published last Thursday. So it's pretty new to the world, and I am so pleased with the response so far from readers. This book was a little bit of a genre buster in many ways because the heroine is tall. She's like 6 foot tall, and she's muscular, and she's strong, and she's a blacksmith, which is very unusual because a lot of people are used to reading historical romances about ladies. And Breda Boyd, who is the heroine of Steel and Surrender, is no lady. However, she is an amazing woman, very strong, very resourceful. She's got a great sense of humour, and she's very kind. And she meets her match with Greg McLean. Now, we've met Greg a few times in the earlier books. We know that he has been badly injured, that he's quite bitter and cynical these days, but more bad things happen to him, unfortunately, at the beginning of this book, and those events catapult him into a huge journey of self-discovery and healing, and it is Breda who is by his side for most of it. So it was a very emotional book to write. It was very heart-rending in places, and there were a lot of messages that came out that were actually quite special. And I must say that I really enjoyed writing about a heroine who's a little bit different from the others. I mean, I'm a tall woman, I'm not a little waif, and so often I don't see myself represented in books. But although I'm not 6 foot tall and I'm not a blacksmith, I kind of felt that I resonated with Breda and I understood her, and it was really nice actually to see a woman like her represented in historical romance. So I hope that you have enjoyed the book if you've read it so far. And if you haven't read it yet, what are you doing? Make sure you download a copy off Amazon or read it in KU. So that is my Highlander trilogy complete for the year. So every year I like to write one trilogy, which is based in medieval Scotland. And this year it was Sons of Mull, and we started with Honour and Obsession in January, and then a couple of months later I released Ruin and Redemption, and I have followed up to conclude the trilogy with Steel and Surrender. And I have already put book 1 of the next trilogy, which is out in January 2027, that's up on pre-order, and it is called The Beauty and Her Brute. That's quite an exciting title, isn't it? And I've actually written a prologue for it. So if you are subscribed to me on my mailing list, or if you have read Steel and Surrender, you will get the free prologue at the end of the story. So it's well worth buying it for that as well, because I don't usually write prologues, but I had an idea for a prologue for the entire new series that sets it up for the 3 heroines. So I had a lot of fun writing it, and I thought I would give it to you all as a gift. And to kind of whet your appetite about what is coming in 2027. So if you have been following me on socials, you will know that I have been doing a lot of Scottish adventuring of late. In May, we went to the Isle of Mull, which was just fantastic. I had such a wonderful time, and I wanted to stay there longer, if I'm honest. My last monthly update was actually from the Isle of Iona. The weather was shocking that day, but I still loved it, and I'd love to go back. So since then, we've done a few more trips, and notably we did a lovely couple of days to Ayr, which is on the west coast, just a bit south of Glasgow, and we visited Cosregel Abbey, which is just outside of Ayr. It's a lovely spot, and it's a medieval abbey with so much history and connection with Robert the Bruce as well. And then the following day we visited the ruins of 2 castles that are next to Ayr, and did a lot of walking along the coast. It was all very atmospheric, and if you have been following me on social media, you will have seen my clips of those as well. We will be taking a little break from our Scottish adventures while we go on holiday and do some other things, and in the meantime I am getting ready to release my next romantasy duology. So get ready for Blood and Claw in September, and then the sequel to it will be in October, and that one is called Fang and Fury. I am now at the proofing stage. Yay! It's always a big journey for Blood and Claw. So I can really see the end in sight for that one, and I'm really happy with it. And Fang and Fury is currently being structurally edited at the moment. So that's the first round of edits. That's the big picture edits where the story as a whole, the characters, the conflict, the pacing, does it all work? So that usually, when the edits come back to me for that, that usually takes me a couple of weeks to work through. It's usually the biggest stage, if I'm honest. And then from then, each round of edits gets easier. Or so we hope. And then we end up with something that I'm really pleased with. So that is what is on the cards now for the next few months. It has been a busy first half of the year, and I will be taking a very well-earned break. And I'm really looking forward to just relaxing and enjoying a little bit of sunshine and letting my brain have time to think, because of course I always have stories churning away in here, but I often need time just to percolate a little bit and let some of the ideas that I've got for next year and the year after, just let them develop a little bit. Often before I actually start writing, an idea has sat in my head, often for 6 months to a year, kind of slowly bubbling away before I actually sit down to write it. So that's how my creative process works. So anyway, that is the end of my June monthly update, and I'll be back at the end of this month or the beginning of next month for another update. So have a lovely summer, everybody, and I shall see you all again soon.